Good day everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So on the previous video I did some if functions. So they asked me to do other questions concerning the if function. So hence why I chose another question paper which contains the if functions and other various functions. So this question paper, it's computer practice N5 November 2021 question paper. So if you do have the question paper, you can just read through from your question paper. So for those who don't have the question paper, I made a sheet 1 and sheet 2 which contains the question paper, and also together with our answer sheet. So this is our answer sheet. So if you find this information here, if you find this video helpful to you guys, please do like and subscribe without wasting any more of your time. So I'll be a bit fast. So if ever maybe I'm moving too quickly for you, just go and revisit the video, or just rewind the video and look at some of the things you might have missed, because I want to make this video as short as possible, because this is basic stuff. So most of us, if we're doing the if functions and all these other functions, it means you already have basic knowledge of computer. So for now, I'll just do this question paper quickly. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get straight into the question paper. So okay, let me just do this quickly. Okay, so number 1, they said create the spreadsheet as shown on the question paper. So you need to create what? This spreadsheet as shown on the question paper. So meaning this, you need to create this. So I've already took it upon myself in order to create some of the information, but I haven't edited anything as of yet. So I've created it, and then they said as headers, insert the examination number. Okay, so we all know how to insert our headers and footer. So for those who do not know, or insert, and then you have headers and footer. So here's your headers and footers. You just press on headers and footer, and then you just follow the instructions as given to you. So for now we're not there. And then they said make all the other changes as indicated in the spreadsheet on the page below. So meaning we need to make these changes. So I'm gonna do the changes quickly. I will do the changes quickly. So if ever moving too fast for you, you will just rewatch the video. Okay, let me just do this quickly. So I'm doing all the changes quickly so that we don't waste time. So if ever moving too fast for you, you'll just rewatch the video and see all the things I might have done, all the necessary changes I might have done. So yeah. Okay, so I think everything is fine. Let me just switch. Okay, and then we have the rands here on pages. So we just do this, and then currency like that, and then going back to the question paper. So 0 decimal, 2 decimal places, and then have this information down here. Okay, so this information I think is fine. F. I say, yeah. Merge in center. Then just move it back. Merge in center also, and then move it back. And then our F. So let me just check what else is missing. So only this roses Aryan 12. Okay, so this we all know how to do that, but then so I'll just focus on this information here. So let's move on. Okay, so they're saying insert the column headings in capital letters, bold and centered. So I'll just do that. Bold and center. So it's centered already. Bold and centered. So yeah, like this. Okay, so moving on. So you're done with this and also this. So number 5, they're saying, so we are at number 5. So they say insert formulas where the alphabet's letter appear to do the following calculation. So we have F, G, H, I. So we have F, G, H, I. And then we have D. Where is D? I think D. And then so that's all the letters. Okay, so we'll start with A. So A, they're saying total left, which is equals to roses purchased minus roses sold. So we'll just say roses purchased. So A, this is A. So what do they mean? They mean you do the function for this A, and then you just drag for the rest of the functions. So let me just remove this. Okay, so A, we need a function. So they said A is equals to, we need our total left. So roses purchased minus roses sold. So roses purchased minus roses sold. So total purchased minus total sold. So we'll say is equals to this minus this, and then we say enter, and then we left with what? With 60. Now we can what? Drag down. So you just drag down to get the rest of the answers. And then we're moving on to B. So B, here's our B. So let me just remove this. And then also this. So B, we need to calculate what? The selling price. So B, selling price is equals to, if the purchase price is less than or equals to 50 rand, add 15%. Otherwise, add a markup of 25%. So if purchase price is less or equals to 50 rand, then what we need to do, we need to add what? 15%. Otherwise we add the 25%. So this statement, it simply says that if your purchase price is below 50 rand, then they must add a profit markup of 15%. But then if otherwise, add a markup of 25%. So what they mean is, if it's above 50 rands, then we need to add a markup of 25 rands. So if it's 60, 65, 70, it must add a markup of 25%. If it's below 50, it must add a markup of 15%. So this formula, how to do this formula is, we need to use the if function, because it's already telling us that selling price, how you calculate your selling price, is equals to if the purchase price. Once you have this if, you must know that you're using what? You're using an if function. So let's see if we can do that. So go back to our answer sheet, and then we're calculating B. So we're calculating B. So they said it's equals to if. Okay, so let me just, so you can do this in both ways. You can type the formula yourself if you know, but then if you don't know how to, you can just go to formulas, and then from formulas you go to logical, and then from logical you have our if function here. And then now logical test, what are we testing? We're testing if the purchase price is less or equals to 50, then what must happen? they must add a a gross profit of 15. So how do we calculate that? We say open bracket, and then we say this. We need to calculate what? The 15%. We need to calculate what? The 15% times 15%, and then close bracket plus plus this. So plus the purchase price. So we say, so the bracket, on the bracket we're calculating what? On this bracket we're simply calculating our 15%. So that 15% we need to add it together with what? We need to add it together with the total purchase price. So we need to add the 15% on top of the purchase price. That's if it is above, it is below 50 rands. That's if it is what? It is below what? The 50 rand. But then if it is above, if it is not below the 50 rand, then what do we need to do? We need to add a markup of what? Of 25%. So we're still on this G4. G4 it's that our purchase amount. G4 is our purchase amount. You just can't see the purchase amount because of we're busy writing the formula on the next cell. So purchase amount, so G4 times, they said 25%, and then close bracket plus the G4. So if G4 is below 50 rand, if it is below 50 rand, it must add what? 15%. But then if it is above 50 rand, it should add what? 25%. So meaning it must take this formula into consideration if it is above 50 rand. But if it is below 50 rand, it must take into consideration this formula. But then if you can see your total answer here, it already tells you that what? It's 120, 125. Why? Because this purchase price here is what? Is 100. So 100 is what? Is above the 50 rand. So since the 100 is above the 50 rand, then which formula must it take into consideration? Is this one here of the 25%. Because they said if it's less than 50, they take into consideration what? The 15. But then if it is above, they take into consideration what? The 25%. So when you say okay, you'll get your 125 actually, so which is the 100 plus the markup of 25. So once you have this first formula, you can just simply drag down to get the rest of the formulas. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. So we're going back to our question paper, and then they say profit is equal to selling price minus purchase price. So profit is equal to selling price minus what? Minus purchase price. So meaning profit is equal to selling price, which is what we calculated here, minus what? Minus our purchase. So let's go do that quickly on our formula. So let me just remove this. So they said it's equal to selling price minus what? Minus our cost, minus our purchase price, to get what? To get the profit. So the profit is 25 rand. So you can just simply what? Drag everything down. So since we are talking about money here, so also this you can just change into currency. So let's quickly do that. Since you are talking about money, you can just simply change that into currencies. And then we are done with letter what? So this was letter C, I think. So letter C, are done. So you're done with this. Also A, we are done. So now we're going to D. So D, they said what? Total is equal to determine the number of profit columns. So we need to get the total what? Total profit column. So total profit. So here's our D. Here, if you can see, this is our D where we need to calculate D. So let's go there quickly. So we'll just say we need to calculate what? Our total profit, which is equal to, we need to add everything here on this column. So which formula do we use when we're adding? We're using is equals to sum, and then we just highlight, and then we'll say close bracket, close bracket, enter. Then we have what? We have our 116,75, just like this. This is our answer. And then we're going where? We're going straight to C. So if ever I'm moving too quickly for you, please go back and re-watch the video. Please go back and re-watch the video so that it can all make sense. So what do we need to calculate? We need to calculate what? The profit percentage. So we're done with D. So D, we are done. E, percentage profit, which is determine the percentage of the profit. So how do we determine the percentage of the profit? We'll just say is equals to this divided by what? By our total profit. And then we say what? We say enter. So this amount needs to be in what? In percentages. So how do we do that? We'll just, you can click on the sign here. You can just come to the home tab and then click on the sign. And once you do that, it will give you what? Your 21%. So we all know that after that we can simply do what? We can simply drag. So when you drag, you get wrong answers. So meaning there's something we might have left out. So usually in such a case, so let's just see why did we get the wrong answer. So they said this divided by this open space, and it's supposed to stick with the 116. So let's look at the next formula. Let's look at maybe this one. So it kept going down, and it's supposed to stick with what? With this. So in such a case, we need to use what? We need to use what we call absolute cell referencing. They must have told you about absolute cell referencing on your instructions. So as we can quickly see already, number six, they're telling you what? Use absolute cell referencing where necessary. So absolute cell referencing where necessary. So in such a case where we are now, it is necessary to use what? Absolute cell referencing. So absolute cell referencing meaning we don't want this cell to change. So we're going to insert what? We're going to insert dollar signs. Dollar signs before the letter, and then a dollar sign before the number. Before the letter and before the number. So that what? This cell remains the same. It doesn't change. So it doesn't go down. It will remain on the cell. We don't need to insert a dollar sign on I4. Why? Because this one we needed to change to come to this one, and this one all the way down. So now when we say enter, we have our 21%, and then we can drag. Now we can drag. When we drag, it will automatically give us the right answers. I hope we understood that part. So if ever I'm moving too quickly for you guys, and then some of the things you couldn't catch, you'll just repeat the video as many times as you need to do in order for you to understand. So let's move on to the next question. So next question, they're telling us, so we are done with E, and then we're going to F. They're saying determine the highest number of what? Of roses left. Highest number of roses left. So we need to calculate what? F. So F is here. So F, they need highest number of roses left. So you must know all these functions. So you must know when they're talking about the highest number, what function to use. When they're talking about lowest number, what function to use. When they're talking about the profit, what function to use. When they're talking about adding, what function to use. You must know all these functions by head. So in such a case, we'll be using is equals to, so when we're calculating the highest number, we use is equals to max. And then open bracket. And then we open bracket, and then they said calculate highest number of roses left. So we are calculating the total left. So here's our total left, and then we highlight it, and we can simply just what? Close the bracket, and then we say enter, and it will give us what? The highest number. So highest number here, when you look, we can quickly see that is what is the 92. So it gave us what, our 92, which is what, the highest number of roses left. So here we have all our roses. So we have our tea rose, our heirloom, we have our damask, climbing, variety of roses, and then we have also the colors. So we're moving on. We're coming straight to our G. So we are done with F. Now we're going to G. They say determine what, the lowest number of roses sold. Lowest number of roses sold. So we'll say what is equals to, now we're looking for the lowest number. So when we're looking for the highest, we said it's equals to max. Now when we're looking for the lowest number, we say it's equals to mean. So already they're telling you mean returns the smallest number in a set of values. Smallest number in a set of values. So you can say open bracket, and then they said lowest number of roses sold. So we come into our total sold, and then we just highlight. So as you can see, the 63 here, it's supposed to be the lowest number, so it must give us our 63, just like that. And then we are done. And then we are what? We are done. Now we're moving on. So H, they say determine the average amount of profit. Average amount of what? Of profit. Then we go back. So here's our profit. They said what? Average amount. So you must also know which formula to use. So in this case, they're telling you must use what? Average. It's equals to average, and then you open bracket, and then average amount of what? Of profit. So you highlight your profit column. So don't include the total. We're only looking for what? For the profit. You're not looking for the total profit. So we'll just highlight until C10 or I10, not C10, I10, until our I10, and then we close bracket, and then enter. So here's our average, and then they're telling us about determining the number of roses. We're determining what? We're determining the number of roses. Number of roses, and then we're saying sheet number of roses. We say is equals to. So when we're calculating the number of something, we use is equals to counter. So we have count and counter. So count counts the number of cells in a range that contains numbers. So it will only count. So counter, you use it when you're counting numbers, and then counter, it counts everything. It can be number or text. It counts everything. As long as the cell has something in it, it will count that cell, irregardless of if it's a number or text. It will count that cell. So what we're going to use? We're going to use counter, because we're counting what? The number of roses. So here's our roses, and our roses are in text. So the text, we use counter. So if we would have used count only, it wasn't going to give us the correct amount, because we don't have numbers here. It's only text. So then we say enter. We have seven variety of. We have 7 roses. Yes, we have seven roses. I hope we understood all those calculations. So if I was moving too quickly for you guys, just rewatch the video. So, and if this video is helpful to you, please do like and subscribe. And then we're moving on. So number seven, they're telling us copy all the formulas to the other cells and indicate as indicated on the spreadsheet. So what they're talking about here, they're talking about what we did. Like you do the first one, which is for A, and then you just drag down the rest of the answers. So that's what they're talking about. So we already done that. So now we can move on from that, And then number 8, they're saying display total purchased. So we need to display all these. They're talking about total purchase, total sold, total left, highest number of roses left, the lowest number of roses sold, and the number of roses as integer. We need to display them as what? As integer. So when they're talking about an integer, they're talking about a whole number. So meaning there's no decimal places, there's no comma. So total pages already, there's no commas. So they said what, Kanje? Total pages, total sold, total left. Total pages, total sold, total left, no comma in decimal place, no zero decimal place. And then highest number of roses left, lowest number of roses left, and number of roses. Highest, so integer, and then also an integer here. So we are fine. Okay, so everything is integer. So display selling price and profit as currency with 2 decimal place. So the selling price and the profit 2 decimal place. So selling price and the profit 2 decimal place. So if as you can see, it has 2 decimal place. So meaning 2 numbers after the comma. So moving on. And then so let me just do this quickly. So number 9, we are done with that. Display the number 10, so we at number 10, display the average amount of profit as currency with 0 decimal place. So average amount of profit with as currency with 0 decimal place. So as currency, so it's already currency with what? 0 decimal place. So go to home tab, and then you can simply cancel here, and then you have your 17 rands. And then going back, 11 they're saying display percentage profit as percentage with 1 decimal place. So the profit percentage needs to have one decimal place. So you can just add 1 decimal place. So this is how to increase your decimals, and then how to decrease your decimals. Okay, so we are done with that part, and then we're moving on to 11. We're going straight to 11. So 11, okay, we are done with 11. And then 12, adjust the columns width to fit spreadsheet on one A4 landscape page. So now we are done with everything, so we need to make sure that it fits in one page. So let me just check something quickly. And then print the spreadsheet on one landscape page with rows and column headings. So we need to print this spreadsheet. We need to print the spreadsheet with rows and column headings. So rows and column headings, they're talking about these number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then also this A, B, C, D. So they all need to appear. So let's do that quickly. So how do you do that? We'll just say file, and then you say print. So you do that when you want to print. So as you can see, this is how it will appear, and then it has no rows and column headings. And then also another thing, some of the information is missing here, and also it's in portrait. So as you can recall, they said it must be what? It must be in landscape. So let's just say page setup. They said it must be in landscape, and then print with rows and column headings. So come to sheet, and then you need to tick what? To tick this row and column heading. And then so when you say okay, look at our picture now, it will show those 1, 2, 3. Now it shows those 1, 2, 3, and also the side here, and also all our information does appear, because the last part of our information is what? Is the profit. It's what? It's the profit. And then you have this, everything does appear. So everything does appear. So and then you'll just say print when you're done. So that's how to do our 7A. So let me quickly do 7B. Let me see 7B. So 7B is straightforward. Also 7C. So I'll move quickly so that I can cover everything in this one video, instead of making a whole lot of videos on one question. So question 7b, they say retrieve the spreadsheet. So we're already on that spreadsheet. Display the formulas. So we need to go and display what? The formula. So we'll say formulas, how to display formulas, and you'll say show formulas. Now we can see all our formulas. Okay, going back to our question paper. Okay, let me just quickly do this. Okay, and then we are done with number 1. So we're doing 2. We're done number 1, we're done, and then number 2, we're done. So we're doing number 3. They're saying adjust the column width so that all formulas are legible. So meaning we need to make sure that all formulas do appear. So it does appear, all the formulas here, and then so here it doesn't appear, all of them, and then we just adjust until everything finally does appear. Yeah. Okay, finally everything does appear. So let me just close a bit. Okay, and then so all the formulas do appear. So let me just do this. Let me just close some of the formulas so that it's not so big. Because I know they will tell us to fit all our information in one page. Okay, so let's go back to our question paper. So they said number 4, we need to add to hide column B, C, D. So we need to hide what? To hide column B, C, D. So we need to hide B, C, and D. So just highlight that like this, and then we say what? We say hide. We'll just say hide, just like that. And then now it's hidden. What else? They said save the spreadsheet as question 7b. Print formula page on one A4 landscape page with rows and column headings. Do not use fit to page function. So what do they mean? They mean so this is where our page ends, and then here on the side this is our next page. So these lines here, they indicate where the page ends. So they said everything must be in one page. So let's just do this. We need to close down all these other cells, so just like this, close everything. Also here, okay, so this is fine. And then so as you can see, our J is still outside the box. It's still outside the box. Okay, so we all know that. So I used a higher font size because so that we can all see when I post a video, so you are able to see. So in our question paper, surely they didn't require you to use such a big font. So usually they tell you to use 12 points. So you need to, so all your information will be in 12 points. So when it's in 12 points, then all the information will be able to properly appear. So 12, and then so when you close, all the information will end up being in the same in one. Okay, so now you see the profit is on the next page, meaning this now all our functions do appear. So as you can see, all our functions do appear. So that's how to do that, which is our 7b. And then they said you must print with rows and column headings in landscape. So how to do that, I've already shown you. We'll just say print page setup and then landscape, and then sheet, and then we'll choose what, rows and column headings. So our rows and column headings already do appear. So that's how to do that. And then let's see quickly. We have question 7c. Question 7c, they said retrieve the spreadsheet. Question A, 7a, create a line graph to compare total purchased and total sold. Okay, so let me just this formulas and then unhide. Okay, so they said what? They said create a line graph to compare what? Total purchase and total sold. So total purchase and total total sold. So we'll just highlight like this, and then you say insert. They said you must insert what? A line graph. So this is our line graph. So we'll just click on this line graph. So this is more or less our line graph, and then insert the following chart titles in the uppercase over 2 lines. So this is your title, and then display the data table with legend keys. Do not display the legend. Header, insert the examination number left. Okay, so our titles, so you just insert your title here over 2 lines. So I think it's total purchased and total purchased, and then the next line it will be total sold, if I'm not mistaken. Total sold, like this, and then you have something like this, and then you need to edit your table, your chart actually. Display the data table with legend keys. Boom 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 boom. Yeah. Okay, so here's our legends. So when we're talking about the legends, so this is our legends, and then we have also do not display the legend. Oh, don't display this, and then down here we need to have it should show our data. Edit, and then it should show the names. Then okay, and then so this is how it's supposed to be like, and then as a header. So all these are some of the things you already know. Save the graph and as question 7c. So just save it as question 7c, and then you print out this. So this is supposed to be in a new sheet, so you can just move. So you just right click, and then you say what? You say move chart to a new sheet. So just click on new sheet, and then you say okay, and then the graph will be placed in a new sheet. So this is a new sheet. So now what else do you need to do? What else did I miss? So I think that's more or less everything. That's more or less everything concerning the chart. So this is where I'll end my video. So if this video was helpful to you guys, and I'm sorry if I was moving too quickly, I just wanted to make sure that all the information fits into one video instead of making a whole lot of videos. So that's basically it. If I was moving too fast for you guys, you'll just rewatch the video and repeat where you might have missed. So from me to you guys, this is goodbye, and on my stay tuned for my next video. I'll be doing OneNote. So on my next video I'll be doing OneNote, so please be sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on that video when I upload it. So from me to you guys, thank you very much.